Did it, it did it, it did it, did it. All right, huge movie fanatic Nate stopping on by once again, coming at you with one of these. Well, in this case, it's not so much of a fan discussion. Well, it might be in Matt's case, but at any rate, we're coming at you, both me and Matthew Heagerty, to do a basically just a discussion about the recently released film by the name of Halloween Ends. Welcome, Matt.
Welcome, Nate. So,
Thank you for welcoming me to my
your own
channel's
show.
discussion. I appreciate that. But from what I understand, we both saw Halloween Ends just recently on. We didn't venture out to the theater to see it. We saw it on good old Peacock-a-Rooney.
Yep, $5. I saw it 12 o'clock. I thought I was gonna have to wait till. Yeah, I thought I was gonna have to wait till 3 because I'm on the eastern side, but it worked at 12. But that's a side note. Probably no one cares, but yeah, no one cares. So I'll just leave it
So
at that.
you saw it just moments into the
Yeah,
14th.
yeah, pretty much because I was just messing around on Peacock, and I assumed it was going to be 3 a.m. on the eastern side because that's what it said. But I don't know. It was just a weird glitch or hiccup, or they just changed it last minute. So that was cool. I watched it at 12 when I was supposed to wait till 3, but whatever.
Very
So,
cool. Have you just seen it once? I've just seen it once so
yeah,
far.
I just saw it once. Yeah, I'll probably watch it again maybe this month. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I only saw it once though.
All right. Well, here we are to discuss our thoughts on Halloween Ends. Who would you want to go first?
You can go first because I kind of told you in private what I felt, and I have no
That
idea how you feel. So
that's true for the listeners. I woke up to a little Skype chat message from Matt, which I thought possibly was like
a
what did I
joke.
say? Yeah, a
Yeah,
joke or sarcasm. He was like, "Wow, wow, I can't.
yeah.
I don't know exactly what you said. Something like, wow, they got it right, or this I can't believe it, or it was amazing. I don't know what you said. I don't want to put words in your mouth,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you were seemed to be impressed, which was interesting to me. And I was like, wow, he's impressed. I didn't have a chance to see it until like Friday night, maybe 7 p.m. ish or whatever. But
Hmm.
I think, oh yeah, in the Skype chat thing, you mentioned something about the you'll know just with the opening scene that this is
Yeah.
this took a chance. It didn't bullshit around. And I think you may have said something like, I can't believe they did something so whatever bold or whatever.
Yeah,
So
the whole movie, I felt that way. But
very interesting, and it's just like, wow, for the first time well, since I've been talking to you on Skype, I think this is the first movie that's kind of blown. Well, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you were very surprised by it in a positive way. Is that correct?
yeah, I was. Yeah, because I guess we didn't do a review on it. I guess I gave my opinion on Halloween Kills in your radio show, but this is a separate video. So yeah, I wasn't. Halloween Kills was okay. It was kind of cheesy and really dumb at times, but the kills were good, and so and then Halloween. Yeah, I'll just give my brief how I feel about the other two films real quickly. Yeah, like so Halloween Kills, kind of dumb. Some good kills, just it's all right. It's all right film. And then the 2018 Halloween, I liked it when I first saw it, and then I watched it again, and it's just seemed very generic. I know people were gonna. It just seemed like it was very generic and cookie cutter, and I don't know. It just didn't have a lot of rewatchability, so that kind of took it down on my ranking because I like to rewatch the original Halloween like once a year, maybe every other year because it has great rewatchability. So I kind of factor that in, and I just thought once you got past the wow factor of a new Halloween, I thought the 2018 was decent, but it was something I probably won't go back to for many years. But so that leads me. So obviously going in this movie, my expectations were pretty low, very very low, and I kind of thought like with 2018 because I was rewatching some scenes and I thought this when they first made it that they were trying to, they were trying to make it feel like a Halloween movie, and it's a Halloween movie, but more, they're trying to replicate what John Carpenter did, and it's just like, you got to just give up on that. Like, it was his movie, it was his style. Like, you're just not gonna. It's like trying to replicate, like, playing. Oh, I want to be like Jimi Hendrix. Well, just be your own musician and just do something good. So, that's kind of, so, and I think actually, the other Halloween films didn't really try doing that. Like, I don't know how you feel about that, but like they all did kind of feel different. Like, even like, what, 4, 5, 6. I mean, they didn't, I don't know. They didn't feel like a John Carpenter film per se. But I just thought that 2018 was just trying to, like, did you feel that way? Am I off? I don't know. That's how I took it, but that could be. It's obviously in a matter of opinion. It's a review, but
Yeah, I mean, I don't think with the 2018 Halloween, I don't know if it felt like they were trying to do John Carpenter, but it definitely felt like the fan service thing that would continue to happen with, say, Halloween Kills and Ghostbusters Afterlife and stuff like that. Maybe a little bit too much fan service for those big fans of the original film or whatever. But I mean, that could, one could say, I mean, that's just a matter of opinion or whatever. But I hear what you're saying. In a lot of
yeah,
ways, Halloween 2018 was, in a lot of ways, just kind of almost a remake of the
yeah. So
78 film.
it really was like a remake with, I think, unnecessary comedy. I mean, it just was like, I didn't really care for the comedy. It was like, 1 minute they're laughing, and then it's like, it just was like, what the hell? Like, they didn't know, because the guy, I guess the director, he was coming from comedy, the guys that were making this. So I think they were probably, it was their first venture into this type of movie. So I'm not, I think that they did a good job for their background. Obviously, never making, that I'm aware of, a horror movie. I could be wrong. I don't know if I don't think he made a horror movie before this, did he? I probably should research
I'm
it.
not very familiar with the director of these three films' filmography. I know for sure that one guy who was involved in the writing of the 2018 one was like a comedy guy, or quote unquote comedy
Yeah, I
guy.
know that. Yeah, the writing guy was, which is, yeah. So writing, I don't think the director did. If he did any horror movie, he didn't do much of it. But yeah. Anyway, so I just thought, the first movie, just too much comedy. Second movie, just, it was like, I felt like by this third movie they just said, "Fuck it, we're just gonna do our own thing. We're not gonna, we're gonna do our own thing." And I think that I felt like they learned from their mistakes, because there was hardly any comedy in this movie, which I appreciated. Like, maybe a couple little one-liners, but nothing that, I don't know. Or maybe it just wasn't bad. I don't know. Maybe it just wasn't cringeworthy comedy like in the last two. Uh, but did it? I mean, I only watched it one time, and maybe you have a better memory of it. But I don't. I don't remember there being much comedy, because remember there was like one line in the opening scene that was, I guess you could, kind of comedic, and then other than that, was there any other comedy?
Anything that could be deemed like comedy or whatever, I think was, I think it was kind of like this with 2018 one as well, but I think it worked better in this one because it just like, just little jokes, or, just fun play. Like, for example,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
granddaughter, little, playfulness between the granddaughter and I want to say that name of the guy is Corey or whatever.
yeah,
I thought I thought it was much more genuine and realistic, the kind of the playful banter in this one, and actually made you kind of smile, versus it just felt the same thing happened with 2018, where there were characters saying goofy lines or banter, but it seems so forced in the 2018 one.
yeah, yeah. That's about right. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Very forced and out of place, and this, yeah, the banter just fit in, and yeah, it felt more realistic, like you said. So yeah, I like that. Um, so what else did you think about it? Since
Yeah,
I
I
should
haven't
say.
really even talked about it. So getting into it, we can, I'll just put on the description, not the description, but the title of this, that it's going to be,
A long,
spoiler
yeah.
laden discussion, obviously. So obviously anyone who hasn't seen it, don't, and you don't want to be spoiled, don't listen to this. But yeah, it's really strange. I'm like torn right down the middle and how I feel about this movie. On one hand, I agree with you, like, wow, it's so freaking daring and
Hmm.
so unexpected and so cool. On the other hand, I'm like, why do two movies that are pretty more or less what people would expect, and then a third movie, why deviate so much from the first two movies? It's kind of weird. So I'm like split right down the middle. Like I love it, and then I guess I wouldn't say I hate it on the other end. So maybe I'm
Yeah.
not. Maybe I'm not split down the middle. More maybe it's more like 2/3 of it I like it, and 1/3 I don't. Maybe that's how it is. Because
Right.
on one hand, the 2/3 version, I'm like, wow, they did something for it's not just cookie cutter Halloween movie. Did something daring and unique, and kind of a callback to Friday the 13th, Part 5 with the imposter Jason. And sorry about the spoiler if anyone hasn't seen that who's listening, but you can just disregard what I just said. But yeah, it was really cool how it kind of did, like, it could have gone all the way. And part of me was wondering if it was going to, where the
Oh
Michael
yeah,
wasn't
that.
e- where
Yeah,
Michael wasn't even going to be a part of the movie at all, and it was just going to be Corey nothing but. How would you have felt about that?
I think that would have been better. People, I think that would have been a more. Yeah, I think that would have been better. I think that would have
I
been better.
I have to agree. And as the movie went on, I was getting giddy, and I was like, okay,
That
well,
would have
we.
been ballsy.
I thought that when it was very possible that when he went into the pipe, it very well could have been Corey just imagining that he was being,
Yeah.
confronted by Michael. I think I'm in agreement with you that I think it would have been even more of a ballsy move if Michael was in fact dead,
Yep.
and it was nothing but Corey in this movie. But I think it's possible they actually entertained that when they were writing it, but they
Sure.
may have been like, oh shit, we don't want to go full out and do that.
You know what?
And
They should have done that in retrospect, and they're probably kicking themselves in the face because everyone hates. So the angry mob. I was gonna say this. It made me think like in Halloween Kills, they had the angry mob of people. It was like the angry mob is now the everyone. Oh, I hate this movie. Where was Michael? Like that's like they're gonna hate. They hate him anyway, so they should have. Yeah, I think they should have just went all out and just because everyone's just like, well, Michael was, and it makes sense. Like Michael was like I don't care because I the kill shit just that movie was just I don't care like people I read people's complaints. Oh, did they just threw away 1 and 2? It's like, well, who cares? They weren't even. I didn't care because I didn't really think they were that good of a movie. The past two movies, so I was happy they just threw it away. Like, oh, he was like an unstoppable. Like I thought the third movie they were gonna expand on. He was like an unstoppable killing machine. Like they, I thought they were going to go that route. I figured because that's how that last one ended. Well, Michael, you can't kill him. He's like getting stronger, and they just kind of threw that out the door, which I don't really care about. Like because I was just like, whatever. The movie wasn't that great anyway. It was okay. Like I really don't. I'm happy they did that in a way, but if they were going to throw it out the window, it would have made more sense to at least like yeah, I said let him die because it's like now you're like now people are like, well, he was unstoppable, but now he's an old guy who gets beat up by, you know what I mean? Like, like he can actually even get killed by an old lady. Like, it kind of, that I get. That's why it would have been better if they just went Corey the whole way. It would have made way more sense and like, it would have been ballsy. But I think that would have made more sense. Like, yeah, he dies and kills. You just didn't see it. Um, I don't know. What do you think?
yeah,
Probably.
it's very possible that when they were writing it, they were actually going that route, and maybe last minute when they were writing it, they're like, oh Jesus, we
Yeah.
can't go full out Corey killer. We're really going to get backlash. So maybe they threw Michael in as a last thing, and it's fine. At least they did mainly Corey. What are your thoughts on, now that we've both seen the film, obviously, what are your thoughts on the opening scene and things like that?
Yeah, so the opening scene, I'm like, all right, it's kind of kind of feeling like it could just be another kills. You don't know. Like, I mean, like right in the beginning, like they're like, all right, babysitter, new guy. Okay, I don't know where this is going. And then it's like, okay, is Michael gonna kill them? You know, and then obviously when the shit goes down and he gets scared and kicks the door and kills the kid. That's when I was like, oh shit, like they're definitely going. Like I was just like, they're going for it. Okay, like this. As soon as that scene ended, I was like, yeah, this is not going to be like Kills or the other one at all. And then I liked how I just liked how they focused on like I just liked how it was a different movie. Like if you went in this movie and was like, it's not a Halloween movie, don't worry about that. It's just a psychological horror movie. I mean, I think a lot of people have been like had a different feel about it. I don't know. Like if you just viewed it as a psychological horror movie, I don't know how you could think it was a bad movie. It's just it was a Halloween movie, so it needed more Michael and this and that. And it's like I personally, I mean, like I like that it was I like that it was different. Like I like that it wasn't just a third movie of Michael running around for 2 hours slashing people. I'm sorry, like I like that it was about this character, going through all this shit and like just caving into, I guess, evil, if you want to call it like, but showing people are treating him like shit, like choosing, you know what I mean? Like even though he was innocent, at least prove it in the court. People still assume that he killed that kid and harassed him and bullied him. And I like that he was like, fuck these people, And then obviously you could say, well, Michael possessed him. And it was like, yeah, but I didn't get that. I got more like that guy was going down that road anyway. And he just, you know what I mean? Said, and he got maybe inspired by Michael, you know? I don't know. I mean, I guess when Michael touched him, there could be that supernatural shit, but I don't know. It seems more realistic that the guy just snapped. And on another note, it was a good romance story. That's you know what I mean? I like that. Like the psycho guy with the lady, and that was good. What do you think about that? The romance part of that, I was like, this is a good romance movie. Like I wish we had more romance movies like this.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if it's going to start a trend in horror movies, like a horror instead of like romantic comedy, it's romantic horror film
That'd be
genre.
awesome. I was like, wow, this is fucking cool. Like, I think it would have been cool if they went the route too, like Laurie's granddaughter, she becomes evil with Corey. Like that would have been also a ballsy move. Like if she, you know what I mean? She just joined Corey on the killings. Like that would have been cool. Would have been a nice romantic horror movie. Would have been cool.
Yeah, so in review, the opening scene is 2019, I want to say, like a year after the events of the first two films, and obviously, I think it's Halloween as well, Halloween 2019, the first scene of the movie, and the whole Haddonfield has just been ravaged the last year from the events of Halloween 2018, and this kid, Corey's babysitting this little jerkwad kid who ends up, basically because he's locking Corey in the closet upstairs. And, Corey's, I don't know if he's freaking out. He's trying to kick his way out of there and hits the kid, and knocks the kid over the railing and splat onto the frickin' ground. And right as the parents come walking in, so then Corey is branded this frickin' killer when he didn't even do anything. It was the kid who was a little bastard. And this movie is very much about the consequences of violence, whether it's intended in Michael's case or unintended in Corey's case. And the argument could be made that Corey is definitely kind of like a new Michael. And it's funny that the house he babysat in even has the stairway that goes up on that right side of the wall, like the Myers house. And the house that he babysat in at the beginning of the movie kind of becomes the Myers house, because later on, and 4 years later or whatever, it's
Mm-hmm.
abandoned and no one lives there. And the actual Myers house, I guess we find out through, some words spoken on whatever TV or whatever, was demolished, I guess, in between 2018 and 4 years later. So now this house is kind of become a new Myers house. It's just really interesting how they weaved everything together. And this movie, The Love Story, is in review. I'm assuming people listening have seen it, but is kind of this love story between the granddaughter of Laurie Strode, who has a kind of a victim past of being, haunted and chased by Michael, and then Corey, who has this victim past of being accused of being a killer. So kind of both sides of the victimhood spectrum.
Yeah, yeah. It was a good romance movie. It was a two people that come suffered and went through some fucked up shit. That are and that's why I think it would have been awesome if they. Yeah, I think if they just, I like that they killed Corey off, but then I don't, because I think if they kept, I would have liked to see him kept alive and just he's the new Michael Myers.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. And getting back to that, this movie definitely does have a little bit of the Tommy Jarvis. Yeah, I don't know if you're familiar with that, but that's a character from the Friday the 13th films, who several times throughout the series, Tommy Jarvis has three movies in the Friday franchise, and a couple times throughout the series of the movies, at the end of four and at the end of five, they kind of make it look like he's going to become the next Jason. He never does. But, that almost wouldn't have been something I would have necessarily hated, like, replace Michael with Corey.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they gave him they gave him his own movie. He had a good backstory. They built him up. It would have been really interesting to see him as the new Michael Myers. But hey, like you said, who knows? Maybe he doesn't die. Maybe he comes back. I don't know. You know.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know. I don't have any of the numbers. I didn't bother to look and how to see how the movie's performing. Do you have any info on how the movie's
Oh,
performing?
I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. That's a good
I,
question.
I would imagine that the response would probably be mostly negative. What do you think the
Yeah,
overall
it's well, I have read a lot of it's mostly negative. Yeah. It's more negative, Me having this positive review on it or is in the minority. So that's a shame. Because we won't get any more movies like this, I guess. Because of that. They just want I guess just more of the same old. Um yeah, I don't know. I just I don't it's was I like that they were going. Yeah, once you put that mask on, a new Michael Myers. I mean, his name is the Shape. I mean, that's the whole idea. Like, and the whole message of the movie was, God, I should have watched it again before we did the review, but basically, what was it? Like how the whole town. I mean, it wasn't just Corey that was turning kind of evil, and it was like the whole town. Corey just went his own way, actually be putting that mask on and really going all out, but that whole town was suffering. And they call it the infection. I wonder if they changed that word. I wonder if that was part of the rewrites. I wonder if they had a different word for that one. But I thought that I was like, they did. Did they change that word? I feel like they were wanting to say another word, but anyway, another word would have made more sense actually, because it is something in the mind, right? I don't want to say the word, but we all know what the word is. It's something you get on your computer and it spreads and it works like a mind, like computer brain. But anyway, but yeah, they use the word infection, which just didn't hold the same weight, or just didn't wouldn't have it would have made more sense to actually say the other boogeyman word. But yeah, I like the psychological aspect of it, like them diving into uh that guy Corey, he was great at acting. Like his transition to Michael Myers was really good. Like I thought he did a really good job of like just this meek, nice guy that turns into this, you know, literally like Michael Myers. But even in some ways, like I thought in some ways he was like freakier than Michael Myers. What did you think? Like he just really had a really good psycho kind of like fierceness to him, you know?
Yeah, so as the over the months or weeks or whatever, as the different trailers rolled out, we got more of a glimpse of this character. And honestly, when I saw him for the first time and probably the final trailer or whatever, I was like, oh, okay, this is probably going to be like, Laurie Strode's, whatchamacallit, granddaughter's love
Mhm.
interest or whatever. But there was something about the guy, even, just like his appearance that it was kind of callback to like the 80s. And I really kind of liked his appearance and watching the movie all, from beginning to end. I mean, I thought that, that little bit of him, me liking him from the trailer is just completely is there with watching the movie. I thought that the guy who played Corey really did a great job. And honestly, I don't know if he's really been in anything before this. I don't think I've ever seen him in anything before this. And the guy who plays Corey, it's pretty much his movie,
Yeah.
Corey steals the show. And, the trailers made it look like Laurie Strode had a lot more to do in this than kills, and she does. But it's funny how Laurie Strode even takes the back seat to Corey. It's basically his story, and
And the girl too, Laurie's granddaughter. Like, she was in it more than Laurie, I would say. Like
yeah,
her
that
romantic story with this guy, and which is fine. It's like Laurie's an old lady. Like, we got her story how many times? Halloween 2018. She was in it a lot. Like, focus on the granddaughter. She's a victim, just like Laurie was now, if not more so. I don't. So, you know, she's. Another thing, like, I don't get, like, this guy being Michael is way more, uh, like, believable and scary, because because, like I said, he's a younger guy. He really had that psychotic look and rage. Like, he did a good job at that. So it's like when he put that mask on and was going around, it was like, this is, you're actually a little bit like, oh shit, like, this is, I get it. Michael Myers is, he's supernatural, but at the end of the day, they kind of ruined it with the last movies. With he's showing his face. Like, they showed his face way too much, and you just saw an old guy. Like, it kind of ruins the. If you didn't see it was just an old guy, I mean, it's an old guy underneath, but actually seeing it's an old guy, it's like. It's just not as scary. It's just not, you know. It's just I get it. Like, he's Michael Myers, but still, I mean, what do you think about that? Like, I just thought that them showing his face so much in the last two movies really just ruined that whole. That's what I'm saying. I don't care that they kind of stepped away, because I think they kind of ruined the whole image of Michael anyway. And I like that they made a new Michael Myers that you're actually like, oh my, holy shit, you know.
Yeah, honestly, I might be in agreement with the mask coming off too many times in the first couple films, but when it did come off, I do like the way they handled it, where it was kind of like a shot from the backside or whatever, and you don't really necessarily see too much of the full on front face or whatever. So I think when the mask came off, I think they did it right. But I probably agree. Like, maybe it came off a little too much in the first couple films. But I do think it's really cool how they in this film, as they're as Corey's story is unwinding, and they go to Allison. I want to say the granddaughter is Allison. I want to say, is that
Yeah,
correct?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Allison.
so she takes an instant liking to Corey. I can't remember if she knows that his past when she takes a liking to him. Was she
Yeah,
is
I think so. I think the whole town knew. I think so. Yeah. Or if she didn't know, she was told. Remember, they were like, I think the bitch that she worked with was like, "Oh, you're going out with that psycho." Remember, like, the girl that she worked with was giving her shit, going on a date with him.
yeah.
So she had to have known. Yeah, and she was sticking up for him from the get go.
Yeah, I just, as the movie unwound, first 30 minutes, first hour, I was really impressed how the movie kind of sucked you into that
Yeah,
unexpected Allison Corey,
yeah,
just love story, or just, becoming closer, and
yeah,
them both, as I said, them both being victims in a different way, and they're kind of both looked at in a negative way in the the town by the townspeople. So they kind of or the ugly ducklings or the odd people out or whatever you want to say, and they kind of find each other and come together through their, I don't know, past history of pain or whatever. Pretty unexpected and pretty cool.
Yeah, I was just thinking. Remember when he started killing more and more, and then he's like, let's burn this. Remember, didn't he say like, let's burn this shit down or something? And she's like, yeah, let's do it. Like that's when I was like, oh, she's gonna join him in the killings. Like that's what I was hoping for. I was like, hell yeah. I was like, fuck yeah, she's gonna become a psycho again. That would have been just it's the romance movie we all. It's the romance movie we no one wanted, but it's what we needed, right? And
Yeah,
I
well,
just what
I don't know if you remember, but the very last shot of like the 2018 movie, I think, was Allison holding the knife.
it's been a while. Yeah, see that would have been that they should have done that. Oh man, that's oh that would have been awesome. That would have been good. Yeah, I don't know why who it's a new Halloween movie. Change it up. Like Michael's old. And then like the transition to this guy becoming Michael was I don't know, really good. I mean, it was very believable. It was I don't know about you. I fully bought this guy became Michael Myers, and that he was Michael Myers. I would have loved to seen another movie or two with him as Michael Myers. Um, but yeah, I guess I don't know. I guess that's done. But so I thought also like the scenes, some of the scenes, like well, I guess all the scenes with his motorcycle, I thought were badass. Like him driving that motorcycle, and they had that cool John Carpenter's '80s type synth going. I was like, it just brought me back to like a cool '80s movie or something. Did you get that feeling? I was like, I really like that. Those motorcycle driving scenes and like as he just kept getting more badass with the killings, he just had that I just thought that was that. I thought that. What'd you think about that? I like that.
Yeah, it was genuinely surprising to see how well, the team behind this movie that made a couple of kind of just whatever, just basically movies with just murders in it, the first couple films, how they actually managed to do a character movie and make us actually care about the characters. I mean, you're right. I mean, the guy, Corey's shown like biking to work initially, and then he's gifted
Mm-hmm.
this old junky motorcycle from. I guess I didn't know the guy was his dad, but it turns out to
Yeah.
be boss slash dad slash boss. But you're right. Just the character bits of him, just becoming who he becomes in this movie, for better or for worse, both in just with himself and the motorcycle and with him and Allison. I mean, honestly, the stuff was interesting to watch, and you kind of you had no idea what was coming next.
No, I thought that like an hour in, I was like, wow, look again because my expectations were so low. But an hour in, I looked at like how much longer is left, just curiosity, because I was like, well, Michael hasn't even shown up. But I remember thinking like, I don't even care. Like because it was I kept wanting to know what happened next, like the whole movie. Now, like when I watched Halloween Kills, I was half the time I was waiting for the next scene. I really, but this was like, oh, I was watching. I was actually like, what's next? Like, what's going? Like, all right, cool. Like, it kept me entertained and captivated. And an hour in, when I checked that Michael, he hasn't shown up in an hour, and I was like, I said to myself again, I don't care. Like, I don't even care. Whatever, I'm cool with whatever's happening. This is all right. I hit play again. I didn't even care. Now, I guess most people that I've read the reviews are like, Michael, where's Michael? Like they're just waiting for Michael the whole. I don't know. I mean, it was. I don't know. Where's Michael? Not enough Michael. Where's Michael? Where's his? I mean, I just didn't like the old Michael. I was just sick of this old guy. Like, all right, like we're done with the old guy. Corey should have went into that. Would have been. What do you think about this? What if Corey went in there Is this a review or a rewriting? What if you went into that the sewage whatever pipes, and then he just killed Michael, and then took his mask? How
You
about that?
know, that probably would have been really cool, but then they wouldn't have been able to do that. I mean, he could have done that, I suppose, after they did some of their Michael Corey double killings and stuff later
Yeah,
on in the movie. But I guess that would have been a cool alternate way to end the movie. But I mean, obviously, the fans and everything like that, they want to see Laurie finish Michael, which is understandable. But in a
sure.
way, in a way, like your idea of having Corey do it might have been more impactful.
Yeah, it's just them trying to please these fans, which is hilarious because the fans hate the fucking movie. So, you should have just went with what you're like going with the Corey stuff, and just, like I said, let him live or whatever you're gonna do. Kill Michael, just do whatever makes this movie fucking badass. Fuck the fans. The fans of Halloween movies at this point will never be pleased. They won't be. It's not gonna happen. So got to move on from them, and that's why I was happy. This was moving on from the fans. Now I hope this guy, the people who made this movie, I hope they go on to make another horror movie. Like, use the Corey guy. Just, you know what? Just don't call it Halloween. Like, make that movie again. Like, do something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, make a suspenseful thriller horror movie, whatever. So I hope just take the Halloween name out of it and make what you wanted to make, because that would have been really, I think even better movie. I think actually, yeah. So I guess in a way, yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
I don't know if you remember, but throughout the course of the movie, Laurie's writing this memoirs or whatever about
yeah,
her dealings with Michael and this and that and coming back. And what's really cool is at the very end, and this could almost be a little bit of open-ended into the next movie or whatever. But in addition to having the mask there on the table, she the last bit of her little memoirs is evil never dies or whatever. It just changes shape.
shape. Yeah, I thought that was brilliant. And again, people are, I thought that made so okay. Like, that actually comes full circle with the shape. Yeah, and then evil, him becoming the new Michael. Like, actually, I I kept thinking too. Wow, there's not, because I remember watching Halloween Kills and be like, God, this is so stupid. These people are dumb. They're doing dumb shit. I mean, yeah, there were some plot holes, whatever. You could nitpick this movie, but for the most part, I was like, wow, this isn't. I don't. I'm not. There's nothing really that stupid. I mean, obviously, like, again, you can nitpick shit, but for the most part, it just didn't seem like the characters were stupid. There was none of that stupid shit you got in Halloween Kills. Would you agree with that? I was like, I was kind of taken back. I was like, wow, interesting. Like,
Yeah, honestly, the movie played like, and it's really hard to get a competent movie in any genre these days, let alone a horror movie. But the movie played like just a competent kind of
yeah,
just a subtle romantic comedy from maybe the 80s or the 90s, but happens to be a Halloween movie. It's really impressive. What's funny about it, or fun about it, is, one of my problems with the first two movies is, even though Jamie Lee Curtis is back as Laurie Strode, the character of Laurie Strode in the first two movies I thought was just not even enjoyable to watch. And at least
yeah,
in this one, she's kind of trying her best to move on. It's been 4 years since 2018 Halloween. I mean, in the story. And the character's trying to move on and be positive. So that was actually, it was cool to see the new face of Corey. And it's kind of like a positive, the first part of this movie is really this more or less positive experience, and it was cool to see even Laurie trying to be positive and just live in a normal house that's not out in the middle of
yep.
nowhere with a freaking arsenal and prison
She
house. And
she literally introduces her to Corey. I thought it was cool. Like, she liked Corey at first. Remember, she slashed the tires of those guys that were bullying Corey.
oh yeah, that was cool. That
Yeah,
was really cool. Yeah, it
like,
was
get in the
like,
car. Like, I guess we're gonna slash. She's the one that's like, she pulled the knife out. Didn't she? Like, I guess we gotta. What she say? Some she said some cool one liner.
Yeah, it was
Remember?
something like, either you're gonna do this or I'm gonna do this or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. It was like, oh, cool. Yeah, yeah. And and then she like brought, yeah, like trying to hook her granddaughter up, and then I liked how it turned south. He's like, he's screaming at Lori like, you introduced me, you brought me into, or what do you say? You brought me into this, like you did, like you did, lady, like you, because of you, I know your granddaughter now, and that we're so. I really liked, yeah, I just liked his descent into like full on psycho, whatever. Like I thought that was so well done. Like he was just like, remember he was saying like, I guess he was hallucinating it, but remember him saying, "Oh, guess he was." I forgot he hallucinated that conversation with Lori. Remember? Did he ever tell her? Was it an hallucination where he said, um, "If if I can't," did he actually tell the real her, or was it just hallucination when he said, if I can't have her, no one can."
Yeah, so that's the discussion that took place in more or less the new Myers house in this movie, which is the house where he babysit that kid, and the kid accidentally died at the beginning. I love how they play it. That scene plays as if you don't know if Laurie was there
Yeah,
or if it was all in his mind, and I think it doesn't answer the question. It could go either way.
yeah, yeah. Because I thought it was really badass at the end when he stabbed himself in the neck. And he's like, what did he say? He was like, because he was going back to what he said. So I guess he thought he said to her. Uh, um, Remember, he was like, if no one can have her, isn't that what he said? And then he just stabs himself in the neck. If I can't have her or something, and then is that what he said? And then he stabbed himself in the neck.
Yeah, I can't remember what he said before he stabbed himself, but yeah, the line was, "If I can't have her, no one can."
Yeah, I thought he said. Yeah, I thought he said, if I can't have her, douche right in the neck. And then fucking brilliance, like really suspenseful. And then she's the one in front of the dead body looking like, you know what I mean? Like he set her up. I was like, holy shit.
Oh,
You
that's
know,
right. We can't forget that I think she took the knife out of his neck. So then when Allison comes in the door, he's
right
laying
at the wrong
laying there
time. Yep,
holding
she's
the
got the
knife.
knife.
It's kind of a juxtaposition from the opening scene where the parents come in and see the kid
Yep.
splat on the ground.
Yeah, I thought that was, yeah, I did, it was, didn't see that one quite coming. I mean, looking back on it, it was like, duh, but it was just, I guess in the moment, it was kind of a suspenseful scene, and then it was just like, damn, he just says it just right in the neck, kills himself. Like, fuck, that was some like, okay, like you thought you outsmarted this guy, and he just flipped that shit. He just Uno card that motherfucker. Like holy shit. Um, did he hear her coming home? I'm trying to remember back to did they hear the car coming? Because her car was loud. Remember? Like, didn't they hear her car show up? Like they both heard it.
Yeah, it's very possible. I can't remember for sure.
Yeah, I can't remember either. Because like he knew he like yeah I think he did. I think he knew he was caught red-handed. Because her car was loud. Remember the muffler was broke. So
Oh, Allison.
yeah,
Yeah.
Allison's car was loud. So I think it was like he was on his knees, like shot, like with the knife in his hand, like he's the one looking like it's not looking good for him. And then he hears the car, and I think Lori's just like, yeah, yeah, we got you now. And that's when he says, if I can't have her, right in the fucking neck. And I was just like, oh, like that was good. And like, it was very believable. Like that guy, his character building up to that, like what a psycho move to do, like Jesus Christ, like holy shit.
Yeah,
What a shame.
what a shame. What?
And we didn't get more movies with this guy. Like I kind of wish this would have been like at least an extra movie, like with him and Allison, and maybe even like I don't know, maybe even more of a build up than because yeah, I don't know. I'm saying like more movies with this guy, like maybe even more of a build up than what we got. But But yeah, sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, it almost would have been cooler to just, somehow try to have the first two movies, condense it down to the first movie, and have the second one be this, and maybe end it with the grand climax of a third one. How would that sound?
Yeah, yeah, because kills. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a shame they didn't utilize this guy in the last in the. You're saying the last movie, or introduce him in the first one?
Yeah, it would have been cool if, in retrospect, they could have combined, combined and condensed the first two movies into the first movie, and then basically
Yeah.
had Halloween Ends be the second in the trilogy, and then wrapped it up with a really cool third film.
What would the third film would have been? What would that have been with Corey in it,
Well,
or?
yeah, I mean, obviously Corey wouldn't have died. He wouldn't have killed himself in the second one. That would have happened probably in the third film. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't have all the details. I'm just
Yeah,
spitballing.
yeah, like skip all the stupid shit and kills with the mob and all this. And just give us that Corey arc for like the build up would have been many movies to the because yeah, if you would even had more of a build up to the point where he stabs himself in the neck, like that would have been and then Allison would have what had more movies to like really like this guy and fall in love with him. It would have been even more impactful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they kind of missed the boat with that
Yeah, you know what they could
opportunity.
have done. Sorry to cut you off because I don't want to forget. So they could have built it up for like 3 movies with this guy. So she's like head over because then it would have been 4 years later. So she's dating this guy for 4 years. Like she loves this guy, you know what I mean? And then at the very end, she sees Lori fucking standing over his dead body, and then maybe and she's already going down the psycho route, and then maybe she fucking kills Lori. How about that? Like she snaps and just, oh, you're dead now,
Yeah, that'd be funny. Like in the potential third film, like you say, they've been together for 4 years, so she can stab Lori, and then meanwhile, she's like 9 months, 8 months pregnant. So at the end of the movie
Yeah,
is black screen, wah, wah.
there you go. Something like that. That would have been, yeah. And like, yeah, I would have been very believable if she killed Lori because, I guess in this movie they made their relationship look pretty good. But like the past couple movies, and especially if this Corey guy was around and they were really in love, and then like you said, maybe this movie, Lori again, they weren't seen as having that close of a relationship, then it would have been very believable that she would have snapped and just fucking killed Lori, like it. But
Yeah,
yeah, could have
yeah.
could have gone. What?
Lori's been this maniacal, crazy grandmother her whole life. So I mean, it's very kind of plausible that,
Yeah,
especially in a fit of rage after just looking like she just killed Corey after, like you say, four
yeah,
years of romance and
and,
8 months into pregnancy. I mean, all that combined at one split second action of just
and,
murder.
and then also in that point you could also kept the storyline of Lori being just that crazy old lady. So in her mind, she's like, my grandma's a crazy old fucking lady, and this is just the end result. She killed my boyfriend. You know what I mean? And then just snap, like not believe at all that he was Michael. Yeah, that would have been pretty cool. I mean, again, either way, I was happy with this movie. Um, I mean, it was still cool that Michael was in it, for sure. Uh, what do you think? I mean, either way, like it was. What'd you think of the showdown with Lori and Michael? I thought that was pretty. I thought that was pretty decent. Again, not very believable because But then again, Michael's old, and I don't know. Again, the thing is, kills just sets you up like, oh, Michael's unstoppable, right? But it's just like, oh, I don't know. Maybe just throw that idea out the window and just assume that the guy did just get stabbed and shot a bunch of times. Then the fight with Lori's more believable, you know?
Yeah, they probably made him a little too invincible in Halloween Kills, but oh well.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I didn't care that they threw away Halloween Kills and just kind of threw that out the door. Like I said, it was kind of like they made him so invincible. Like it was cool to watch in the movie, but I was fine with them just kind of going, let's just forget that happened. Because I mean, do people forget? Like, people didn't like Kills. Like, I didn't really think it was that great. It was an okay movie, but like, it wasn't well received. So, you know, makes sense. They just said, you know what, fuck it. It was a dumb movie. We're just gonna throw everything out the door for the most part with that. At least all that kind of shit, and then just try something different, which is what they did. And people still, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, we live in this era where people really seem to never be happy, even if they get exactly what they want, or if they try something more unique. It's like people never seem to be
Yeah,
happy.
yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, we got a bunch of killings in Halloween Kills, and then no one. I mean, yeah, people didn't like that movie, and and people said they liked 2018, but I don't know if you remember that was kind of mixed as well. Like, so I don't know. Like, these people who made the movie must be like, what the fuck? Like, we we tried everything, and these people, like, you just can't please these goddamn people. I mean, they literally, if you look at the trilogy, like, they did try to do. Every movie feels like very different for the most part. Like, maybe some tone is the same, but I mean, it's like they went to the drawing board and tried up different things in every movie, and then it just never really stuck, you know?
Yeah, it's quite a bummer. One thing I thought was kind of cool about this movie, as Corey was slowly making his transition into kind of an alternate shape or another shape or whatever, was when he was invited to that whatever Halloween bash at the bar or whatever, and I
Yeah.
guess Allison brought him the mask or whatever. So
Oh yeah.
the mask was a little bit of a kind of a callback to young Michael Myers, how the mask he wore when he killed his sister. Yeah, killed his sister.
Oh yeah. I didn't even realize that. Yeah. I mean, wow. And then we didn't even talk about what do you think? What did you think about the kills in this movie? Like the kills.
Honestly, it's funny. We both of us have only seen it once at this point, and since the character aspect of this movie was so strong, honestly, I don't even necessarily remember the kills. I was going to bring up, this would be a perfect time to do it. The scene that I remember being really cool is when things really got, whatever, violent or whatever,
Yeah.
was like when people come to I want to say they come to the bullies or whatever, maybe go to the junkyard or wherever he
Hmm.
works and stuff, and the tow truck runs that one girl down or whatever. And I just remember a bunch of cool stuff in that scene. And I can't remember if at that point we necessarily know if, but I think it's Corey doing that stuff. It's not Michael, I don't think. But
It's
I
Corey.
remember
Yeah, it's Corey.
I remember the scene at the junkyard or whatever with them bullies. I thought was really
Oh yeah, it was
pretty
gruesome,
cool.
and it was. I thought it was really. Yeah, it was a really good build up to killing those, because those, like, they build up those bullies the whole movie, and then don't you remember he shows up with his motorcycle and he carves Psycho into their like hood. He like baits them,
Oh yeah.
and then yeah, and then he just slaughters them. Yeah, I thought that was awesome. Like, that was like, holy shit. Like, that, I thought, like, just the way he was baiting them, and then way he was killing them off and stuff. It was just like, this is wow, Um,
Yeah.
it was just something you see. I don't know. I just was like, this is some of the. I thought this is some of the best kills I've ever seen in a Halloween movie. Remember it just, I don't. The whole scene was just like, he had them all in like, just not thinking straight, and just the guy's pointing the gun, he shoots his dad, and you know remember he pulls out the welding torch and he just burns the guy's head. I thought that was pretty
Oh, I
badass.
think I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was great. I was gonna say something, I forgot. Oh well, you can talk.
Yeah, I just felt like that scene was just more like aggressive, like a more, I like a more aggressive because it wasn't Michael Myers. It was it was the new Michael Myers. It just felt like it was more aggressive the way he was kind of killing them off.
Well, like you say, I mean, Michael in these films is old, and now this guy is younger. So now when he starts murdering, it is more aggressive, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think even compared to the old Michael movies, I don't know. It was just I just thought it was cool. Like he was, he was kind of disappearing. Like he was being stealthy. It was just like, okay, yeah, this is good. I like this. I don't remember. Was it really? I mean, there was nothing that stood out in the past two movies of Michael like really kind of. I mean, I guess we saw Michael being supernatural because he took a bunch of hits, right? Cool. He took a bunch of hits and all right, he didn't die. But like the way they shot this, it felt like, oh, you're dealing with something that's almost supernatural. You know what I mean? Like the way he was just kind of setting them up and then disappearing because he got out of the shot. And I don't know. What'd you think about that?
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I don't know if you've ever seen the John Carpenter movie Christine, but that bit about scraping the bit on the car to get him to the junkyard was very much like a probably a deliberate wink to Christine.
Sure.
Have you seen
Nah,
Christine?
I never saw it.
Oh, okay. The same thing happens in Christine, but that's okay. It's a wink to Christine.
That he just takes him out. Oh, and then the the kills in this were brutal. Like then he kills the remember the radio guy? Like he cuts his tongue off and puts it on the record player. I thought that was
Oh
good.
yeah,
And it
that
was
was
like skipping. The station was like skipping, and then like it cuts to Allison just turning off the station. I thought that was
yeah,
good. Like
that was a cool little detail. Yep.
yeah, well, yeah, just like intelligent little details. I was like, who made this movie? Like is someone with a fucking brain? Because it just didn't. Because like Halloween Kills was so stupid. Like it was so stupid, and then it was like all these little pretty smart details, and they just ruined the movie. And I was like, God, like I don't feel like an idiot every second of watching this movie like I did with Halloween Kills. Maybe not the whole Halloween Kills, but you know what I mean? Evil dies tonight. I mean, like, that was Halloween Kills. Evil dies tonight, like 30, 40 times. You know? That was like, yeah, it just doesn't. I don't know. I don't know what happened. They totally changed things up for the better. For the better. But people didn't want it, so. What other kills? Yeah, I thought like, all right, when he did the duo, like when he was stabbing, I thought it was really creepy and good when he was stabbing that guy in the face over and over again. Remember, like in the shadow, because it was kind of like, wait, what the fuck is going on? Like,
Was that Corey or Michael? I
yeah, it
don't
was
remember.
Corey. Remember, Corey he didn't have Michael's. He didn't have Michael's mask at the time. He had his party mask on still. And he was stabbing that dude like over and over again, real aggressive. Like he was like all of his kills were a lot more just like rageful and aggressive, and like he was very. I liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. And I don't want to forget to bring this up as the last discussion we did was Top Gun Maverick, and it had a little bit of this in it, but I feel like it wasn't something similar. I'll get to it. You'll probably know what I mean very soon.
Oh, I was just the
No,
old
no, no.
yeah.
Before you share your thoughts, let me share mine. I do
Okay.
feel like, you had the inevitable a
Sure.
little bit of I guess just I wouldn't even call it love story at all because it's not really that. It's just kind of even
Yeah.
Laurie and that cop guy just talking. But what I was gonna say about it is just like with so much of this movie that I thought was handled right. I thought those couple of scenes where Laurie and that old guy were talking was handled just right because it wasn't like romance.
Yeah.
It was more like just, interacting. And I thought like so many other things in this movie that was handled pretty
Yeah.
right. What are
Yeah.
your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. It wasn't cheesy at all. It was kind of how you would expect two senior citizens that probably can't even have sex anymore would go about, but still romantically kind of interested in each other, but knowing that they can't actually, fulfill that urge anymore, they just kind of. It's kind of how they probably would be, right? I don't know.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
the closest they get to it is just sitting on the porch, which is fine. I mean, I can't imagine being that age, so.
yeah. Sure, yeah. One day, right? Maybe. Hopefully not. Um, I was just saying, I mean, I guess there are some people that still try to do that kind of stuff at that age, but, ugh. But yeah, it was done well. Yeah, I really, I got nothing to really nitpick about this movie. I mean, that's what I said. I liked it a lot. I enjoyed it more than the other two Halloween movies. I mean, I enjoyed it more than, I don't know. Like, I don't care that it wasn't really so much a Halloween movie. I like that it was more of a Corey turns into Michael Myers movie. Like, I thought that's how many Halloween movies have there been now? What are we up to? Like, if you include Rob Zombie, I mean, how many we got? Like, there's over 10 of them now. Oh, we have well over 10. We hit like 15, 16. Like, what are we at? Like, it's like, I'm fine with this being different. I don't know why people like, I don't know. And it's like, it was different, but it was nice because they said Allison was there the first two movies. Laurie, like, it was, there was character development for a couple movies. So it was nice to have Corey come in and build off of that and then have a satisfying movie. Like, it wouldn't have been as satisfying if it was just, oh, this is the start. I don't know, like a whole new movie without knowing these characters and this and that. But yeah, it was like this was like the first one in the trilogy that I gave a shit about the characters. You know, like,
Yeah, well, this was the first one in the
they
trilogy,
humanized
yeah,
them.
where they had likable characters to any kind of a degree. That's for damn sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was weird because I didn't really particularly. I did not like Allison in the last two, but it was kind of like she was given kind of a dumb script, and it was just, like she was she was there, but it was like I didn't think much of her in the last two movies because it was just like her lines and what she had to do was just you know whatever. But in this movie, it's like wow, she was like one of the star of the show, so I liked her a lot more in this movie because it made her felt like more of a real human and this and that and gave her a story more than just this generic like you killed my boyfriend and mom, you know.
Yeah, it is something when you kind of think about the character of Allison in the last two movies. It's almost like this generic Z grade character, and all of a sudden in the
Yep.
third film, she's like a actual human being.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Z great character. Yeah, literally wouldn't have cared if she got killed off in the last two movies. Like, you know, I didn't care about anyone getting killed off in the last two movies. But in this movie, like when Corey killed himself, I was like, oh shit, like fuck, like damn, And then I guess there were still some killings, but even like the DJ guy, like when he got killed, it was like the bullies got killed, like everyone that got killed. Well, not maybe not. Yeah, even the mom got killed. Like everyone that got killed, like there was some character development that you felt something. There was like, oh, the bitch mom. Yeah, I guess kill her. Like fuck it, right? I get why he's killing her. And then the DJ, he was a fucking asshole. Maybe he doesn't deserve that, but I don't know. Only Corey can only Corey can decide, right? Because
Yep.
it sounded like they were really fucking tormenting these people. Um, yeah, I thought that was good. Yeah. What are your major complaints with it? Like, just not enough. I mean, that they didn't just go fuck it. Let's just make this a Corey movie and not like even bother to do this kind of stupid Michael Myers. Well, I don't think it was stupid, but like the sewers thing and well, I thought the
I
sewer. What?
I guess one of my only complaints is just like, why did we do the first two movies like, kind of what people would more or less expect, and then I guess my complaint isn't really with Halloween Ends itself. It's more like with the trilogy. Like,
Yeah, it's
why
not. A,
couldn't we have, why couldn't this be the middle movie? And then, that way you and I and maybe some other folks out there who enjoyed this would be like really, really excited for the third and final one. I guess my complaint is more with the trilogy than this film
oh
itself.
yeah,
Like, yeah,
I think this was easily the best in the trilogy, and it was the last one. So it was like, well, I guess it's good to end your trilogy with the best movie, but yeah, it's a shame that it didn't happen in the middle and for the first movie or whatever, or I don't know. It is what it is. I'm happy that we got it, and I'm happy we didn't just get it. We didn't just get another Halloween Kills. That would have sucked.
yeah. What did you think about the kind of laughable? I told this to Beth, but then she answered with, "Well, I guess it's a hot shit or it's a classic car now." But what did you think about the bullies having like this freaking Chrysler convertible from the '80s or something like that as their car? The high school kids. I just thought that was kind of funny. Me, because I am the age I am, and growing up in the 80s and stuff, it's kind of funny that these high school kids in 2022 are going to be driving around in an 80s vehicle. What were your thoughts? Anything or nothing?
I didn't even notice, or I mean, I noticed the car was this old convertible, but yeah, it didn't have any, just whatever. I was like, I don't know. I didn't even think about it really. It was just, you know, I don't have any thoughts on it. The car, at least.
I just thought it was weird because most times these days, people have newer vehicles and all of a sudden they got a vehicle that's pushing 40 and it's just kind of funny, just random. But those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it was random, but yeah, I don't know what they were trying to. I don't know what they were trying to do with that one. Um, I thought the bullies were well done though. Um, and then I had something else I was gonna say. Uh, oh, I can't get over how well, and I said it, his descent into just. I would say just standing up for himself. On maybe like I said, you could criticize his method, but he just he stood up for himself. It's kind of like a tragic story of a man bullied who fights back, and I guess he fights back a little too hard, but hey, right? Isn't that what it is at the end of the day? Like everyone he killed, that's one thing. Okay, that was one thing that was different about this guy. Did he kill anyone that was technically innocent? Like Michael just goes around and kills anyone. But this guy, Corey, did he actually kill anyone that was innocent, really?
I don't remember. My recollection is no, but I'm not
No.
100%. We
Yeah, I
we
could be
both
wrong, but
just saw it once, but yeah, for sure, if he did kill someone innocent, it's mostly people who were bullies to him.
yeah. Yeah, everyone that got killed was fucking with
Oh,
him.
remember that homeless guy?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess you could say he's a little aggressive with him. I don't. Yeah, but that guy kind of grabbed him, and I, at least in this scene, at first I thought that the homeless guy killed Corey. Then I was like, oh, you know what I mean? It kind of, you know.
Yeah,
So
they did the thing that made it look like Corey was getting stabbed. Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, that one I thought was maybe I'm wrong in retrospect now, but I thought that was more of like an accident killing, but maybe it wasn't. Like the dude grabbed him and was like, I don't know, the way the scene was shot, right? It made it seem like this old guy was a threat. Um, did the homeless guy have a knife, or did Corey have the knife?
Yeah, I can't even remember
I
whose
can't
knife it
remember.
was. Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I thought that was just more of an accidental killing. Like, oh, I thought this old guy was gonna kill me, so I killed him first. And I thought that was kind of what just sparked his descent into just saying into rage and just saying fuck it. I guess it boosted his confidence. It was like, he's he was leveling up with that one, you know. and then remember, because after that, his confidence just kept growing the more he kept killing. So back to Laurie, like the more Michael keeps killing, remember, the more he keeps. So in this movie, the more Corey kept killing, the more confident he kept getting, and just more bold and right. Remember Halloween
Yeah.
Kills? You know, the more he kills, the more he gets stronger or whatever, or
Transcends.
transcends. And then look, Corey, same thing. That it's just a story of evil at the end of the day. Like that's what I like this movie. It's just talking about evil and the psychology of evil and how someone can descend into it, how anyone is susceptible to it. You know, maybe but I could never be like Corey. Yeah, but you know, you might not be like Corey, but the point of the story is like look at the town, like, you know, yeah, Corey went off and became Michael Myers, but look at all the fucked up shit this whole town was doing that was evil to other people. So it's like the whole point of the story was like, yeah, anyone can become evil. Like it's I like that. Like you know, people just wanted a mindless fucking slasher movie, and I was happy that's not what we got.
Yeah, it makes you wonder. Well, of course, if this movie does performs miserably, it won't happen. But if it were to perform decently, it does make you wonder if you'd get more of these like high concept horror movies with actual characters you care about. That'd be a nice if something like that
Change
were
of
to,
pace.
yeah, that'd be a nice change of pace. And when the inevitable, next Friday the 13th happens or something, it'd be really exciting to see something like that happen with that.
Yeah, 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 and yeah, and like you said, I mean, it was like okay, like the first hour ish, a lot of character build up. I mean, the you know, it paid off in the end. You know, like you need to build up the characters and build up some stuff. It's got to be, you know, and then that the finale becomes like really intense because there was investment in these characters and the story and the build up. You know, it's like building it up, like so it can be a bigger kind of like a have a whatever, like build up something. It's a like a building that's taller and then you push it down. It's a or whatever the analogy, like if you
Yes,
don't if you don't build it up, it's not gonna fall as
hard.
not yeah, not as fall as hard or whatever. Because if you
We
just
under
had mindless, like Halloween Kills, just mindless killing the whole time, it's just okay, that's cool, but I don't care. Like you're just watching a guy kill people you don't give a shit about that are stupid, and it's just like you know, like when he went to kill his mom. Remember that scene? Just oh shit! Like I don't think they actually showed it, but like okay, cool. Like not you know what I mean? Like guy's going for it. Why are you laughing? He was going for it. Like that movie, he was going for it.
I could just see people showing up at your the door at your place, saying like, "Wait, kid, his mom, cool. He's going for it. Good for him."
His mom was a piece of shit to him, though.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if you remember how much of a piece of shit his mom was to him.
Oh, I do. I remember that one point. I think she slapped him and then like kissed
Yeah,
him on the lips afterwards.
just which again I thought was really well done because it's like, all right, Corey has a psycho mom. Like he's got there's a lot of fucked up shit about this guy's life, and again, just like okay, this is very believable that this is why he became Michael Myers. And then what else was I gonna say? What about yeah, and then I liked yeah, I just liked how he was just standing up for himself. Remember he got pushed around and then remember the scene with the ex-boyfriend cop and he just stands up. Remember that
Oh,
scene in the restaurant? That was a good
that
scene.
that was great, and I was kind of wondering why the hell that guy was even an ex-boyfriend to Allison. I mean, he seemed really too old for her. I don't know why she would have been involved with him, but yeah, that scene was great, and that was one of the. I mean, the whole beginning of the movie was fun to watch or
I
whatever.
thought they could have expanded on the Allison and this old cop guy But I thought about it and I was like, and again, they didn't even explain why he would. They just assume that that's normal to be with this older cop guy. And Allison was a very attractive younger woman, so I mean, and it's just like this older cop guy that's like, okay, like nothing special, right? But I thought maybe because he was the local cop, I figured maybe Allison was dating him because she really felt like after all the shit that think of all the shit that happened to her with Michael and all this, I mean, I thought maybe they should have expanded on it a little more, but maybe not enough time to do that. But I just figured it was she wanted someone that she felt really safe and secure around, who better than the local cop guy that's older,
Hey, that's a really good point. You might have something there. I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna get. It'd be really nice if we got an extended version of this, like we did
I
with
know,
Kill.
I know,
But we can hope.
and then that's what I figured because it's like, yeah, that would make a lot of sense. You just had this Michael. I mean, think about if that was anyone's situation that happened to you, like you would be latching on to the toughest or supposedly toughest, right? Person you can find. Be damned if they're older, right? That's what I figured. And then it was cool to see. She just goes with someone that's even tougher, right? Even more of a badass, right? Corey. Who's better than actual Michael Myers, right? To protect you, the new Michael. Oh man, I thought that was cool. How he killed off like he led him to the Michael Myers to get killed. Remember after the cop followed him back to
Oh my God, yeah.
I think that was his second kill, wasn't it? Like he killed the homeless guy, and now he's really starting to stand up for himself.
Yeah, it
And
was like Michael was the mama bird and teaching Corey.
yeah,
Didn't Corey say like, "Show me how to do it"?
yep. I thought he was just gonna like lead him in there and then just like let Michael kill him and just like just drive away. But yeah, he was really like, yeah, I need to know. I need
Yeah,
to know.
pretty cool stuff. So, what did you think? I mean, you must have been just really surprised going into this with like such low expectations. You must have been like, "Whoa."
Yeah, I was. That's why I messaged you, and I was like, whoa, wow. Like I can't compare it to the original Halloween because it really is so different, and I'm happy it is. Like I said a million times, so I can't. But that being said, I know it's gonna a lot of people are the angry mob is gonna get mad. Evil dies tonight. I liked it more than the original just because if I just looked at the movies objectively without any nostalgia, and again take away the Halloween name and just look at them as two separate movies, like with no name, take the goddamn name off. Michael Myers, just even take Michael Myers' name out of it. Just look at it as two separate movies. I enjoyed this movie more than the original. I don't know about you. That make sense? If you literally judge them as just the movie, no name, no Michael, just guy with a mask, whatever. What do you
Yeah,
think?
it's hard for me to answer that because the original film has just been with me for such a long
Yeah,
time. But
it's a nostalgic
right,
lens. It
right.
really clouds people's judgment. And yeah, I grew up with it. It's been with me for a while, but um, I have no problem because it's been so long since that movie came out. I have no problem like just separating them because it's and just looking at them for what they are. Yeah, original's a great movie, but I mean, I really think that nostalgia is this nostalgia for the original Halloween is it's what's fucking up these new movies. It's just because no one's happy and you do something different and this and that, and it's just like you're never gonna get the original movie. So just like you can't capture lightning in a bottle twice. And again, it was a John Carpenter's movie. Like as far as I'm concerned, he was the one that made it. He's the only one that's gonna be able to make another one that's gonna satisfy the fans. So if he's
Yeah,
not doing it, then you might as well do something different. And that's
that's
what
a
I
good.
liked about this.
And to answer your question, yeah, I can understand what you mean about just taking the name off it, taking off the nostalgia. I hear what you're saying. Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, look, think objectively, like the acting. Look at the acting, the music. If you just judge a movie from the acting, the music, like the storyline, the editing, the kills in it. I mean, what really is that much better about the original? If you really look at it as objectively as possible, I'm telling you, if people really take the lens out, they're not gonna like it. But yeah, as a movie, it was better. And like again, all those categories. Again, you might just like the original more because it's your taste, but if you were to like objectively just judge the movie on things that like you as objective as you could be and scientific about it, right? Like the acting and maybe the music and this and that. And again, it's still a matter of a goddamn opinion, but let's be real. Like the original didn't have the best acting at times, and then the music was amazing. Of course, that was like the best part about the original. But the music in this was really goddamn good because it had some of the original music, but some more that was really good. And it was, guess who wrote the music for this movie? John Carpenter and his son, I think. So I don't know how you could, that's why I think it's a better movie for those reasons. It's not maybe it's not a better Halloween movie, but I think it's a better horror movie, psychological horror, whatever you want to call it, just horror movie.
Very, very cool. And yeah,
Like,
it's.
sorry, what?
I didn't really have anything. You can go.
Yeah, like the original had a creepy. Again, was more of a had a really creepy vibe to it, like some creepy scenes. Where this movie was more of a psychological horror movie with some brutal ass kills, and just just a different type of movie. But so yeah, if you really just wanted that creepy Halloween vibe, then yeah, you would. But I'm just saying, I guess it's hard to be objective about that kind of stuff. But that's why I think of taking the lens off the nostalgic goggles. I think it's better.
Well, very cool. Do you think we set our piece on Halloween Ends?
I know I'm probably gonna think of something else after we get off. But how long have we been going for?
Hour and 25 minutes.
Oh Jesus Christ! Who's gonna watch? Who listens to this shit?
Fans, fans of you and I listen to this shit.
It's probably not that many, is it? Well, you have a lot. You have a decent amount of subs.
Yes, I've got a lot. almost, well, a little over half of a grand. Not a grand, 1,000.
Oh, yeah. One more thing. I like the mask in this. It was. I guess it was still kind of similar to Halloween. It was like the same mask as Halloween Kills. Maybe I just
Well,
look of it. It looked more badass.
no, it was slightly different. The first film was rotted, the second film was burnt, and this one is burnt with 4 years of more aging. So it is a little bit different. But yeah, it was kind of almost like no, I agree that the mask was cool, and honestly, in closing and wrapping it up, you talked about like the first hour or whatever, just basically being concerned with the characters and good for them, and it's not necessarily even caring that Michael hasn't showed up yet. But like the longer they make you wait, like the cooler it is when he shows up.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Definitely. When did he first show up? It was like was it
I didn't take a timestamp, but maybe somewhere like an hour in or something like that.
was it when Corey was in the sewers?
Yeah, the bullies pushed him over the bridge.
That's right. Yeah, that was when he showed up, it was really holy shit, he showed up and it was a really impactful because it built up like about an hour or whatever the time was in. And he got pushed over the bridge and sewers where Michael was. Yeah, I thought that was how did he end up in the sewers again?
Oh,
Did
here
he
you go.
walk?
Yeah, he was pushed over the bridge. I think he was knocked out, and
He was
Michael
knocked
came
out.
and Michael dragged him into the sewer.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. And why didn't Michael kill him right away? I guess we'll.
Well, I think one could say is possibly even while he was still unconscious, maybe Michael was sympathetic to the kid who was bullied and pushed off the bridge, and definitely when they locked eyes, I think that thing with like Michael in the eye or whatever, I think it was supposed to be like Michael, seeing the evil essence within Corey, and that being the
Right.
reason he
He
didn't
let him
kill
go.
him. It's kind of like a kindred spirit.
I like that. Like, why did people hate that? I thought that was good. That was cool. I thought was yeah. Yeah, they didn't, and then he was all. Remember, he was all freaked out. It was like, did Michael? Did he ask his girlfriend Allison or some? Did he ask someone like? Did he? Why did you? Did Michael let Allison live too? No, we're ending it now. But didn't he say something like? He was asking her. Remember, he was all freaked out. Like, why did he let me live? Why did he let me go? He let me go. Remember?
Yeah,
And
there was some line where he was like, why did he let me go? And did you escape, Michael, or did he let you go? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought that was cool. Um, and then they did how many kills together? They killed the they did the old doctor guy with the nurse together. I guess they killed the cop together. Didn't he help kill the cop? Like, did he hit the cop at all? He did,
I
didn't he?
can't I can't remember. I can't remember all the details on one viewing, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't remember if he did it or if Michael did it or I don't know.
So people were complaining. The people were nitpicking the fact that when he went to go get the mask, that he was able to just beat up Michael and grab the mask. Like, that was like a supposed real concern. How was he able to do that? And I feel like that's just fucking nitpicking. You know, I think it's nitpicking because at this point in time, again, throw Halloween Kills at the door. We don't know how strong Michael is. It's like he's a dude living in the sewers for 4 years. Just got beat up pretty bad. Like, we don't know his condition. And you could factor in saying, well, if what Lori was correct, how Michael gains his strength and power from killing, well, isn't it safe to assume that Michael's weak now because he hasn't really killed anyone in 4 years? Maybe he gets weaker. I don't. No one mentioned that. So I thought it was believable that he could beat the shit out of Michael and grab his mask. Because even if you went off, now that I'm thinking, even if you went off Kills, kind of like ridiculous plot, like, can't you assume that like he killed a bunch of people, he got really strong, like got more unstoppable, and then he stopped killing and hid in the sewers and got weak, like lose his strength from that. Maybe it's like a bar, like a game bar, like you got to keep, like, right. Like, there was a reason, like, you got to assume he was in the sewers for 4 years, probably pretty weak, like probably didn't come out because he was obviously they didn't really go into that, but you just got to use your brain and assume that isn't it feasible that he got weaker because he wasn't killing and the supernatural part of him, and maybe also you could argue he kind of dragged him into the sewers to inspire, to kind of use Corey to go out there and bring him his first victim, because maybe he was too weak to do it. Because he looked kind of weak even fighting the cop, remember?
Yeah, it did seem like there was this definite plot point where, when Michael is first introduced, he's kind of weak and needs for some kind of
Help.
energizing, and I guess we can assume, bringing Michael victims or whatever, and victims to kill energizes them, like you said, the video game power
Well, that
level
they said it
health.
in Kills. They said it in Kills. Like, it was pretty self-evident at the end of Kills. He gets stronger as he kills. So we don't know exactly 4 years later. Maybe that strength dies off pretty fucking fast, you know? And maybe, like I said, maybe he got really weak in the sewers. He was there for 4 years. And this is Michael Myers. He's supposed to come out every year. So there's got to be a reason he hasn't shown up. Probably because he's too weak. And then maybe he's just chilling in the sewers until look, this dude just fell. Look, this guy's really weak because he could have killed that homeless guy anytime. There was a homeless guy. He was probably too weak to kill the homeless guy. So maybe he saw, oh, look, someone's right in front of my sewers that's knocked out. Easy kill, right? Grabs him, pulls him in, and then, like you said, goes, wait a minute. Or maybe Michael knew all along. Maybe Michael wasn't even going to kill Corey. Maybe he just knew, maybe, I don't know. Maybe he had to have known that Corey was like evil and he was going to use Corey, or I mean, he had to have known, like, I'm going to use this guy to bring me my first kill and get me out there again, you know, which is what he did. He brought him his first kill. And then look, after he kills the cop, starts to get strong enough to go get back to his normal self again, you know? Right? I mean, it's, now we're thinking about it, like, I mean, doesn't even seem stupid. Actually, when you think about it like this way, like, it actually, going off the kills plot line, actually, this makes sense, you know? They just don't spell it out for you. They don't spell it out to the audience, but it actually logically adds up. It would make sense, you know?
Yeah, I'd say so.
And I don't think that's dumb. Like, he got weaker because he didn't kill, you know? And how would they know that? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's safe to assume in the sewers for 4 years, he got weaker because he wasn't killing. And he didn't kill that many people in this movie. It was mainly all Corey, so. But he definitely got, like, I don't know about you, but he definitely seemed stronger when he went to go kill that doctor. Like, when that cop showed up, he seemed like, yeah, pretty weak. But when he came to kill that doctor, he definitely seemed stronger, but not, like, unstoppable. And then it makes sense how he wasn't completely unstoppable when he fought Corey, you know? Like, he wasn't the Halloween Kills, like, God mode, you know what I mean? Like, he was still trying to, you know what I mean, trying to work his power bar up, you know? So Laurie got him when he wasn't fully there yet, you know, and was able to take him down. All seems, again, not spelled out, but this logically would make sense if we went by the Halloween Kills plot. So I'm happy with that. So what are the haters going to say about that, you know?
Well, we'll find out in the comments.
Nah, I don't. Yeah, well, it is what it is. Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah. I like this movie.
Pretty
Haters gonna hate.
unexpected. I bet you didn't think that was going to happen.
No, and you like this movie, but you are torn because you like it more than you thought you should. You're torn. That's what you like it because is that what it is? You're like, I like it more
Well,
than I thought it should.
like I say, I'm torn because, you know, why do the first couple movies relatively are
Right.
similar, and then you're going to introduce a new character in the third and last film, and make it all different. It just seems like it wasn't planned out.
No, it wasn't. It definitely wasn't planned out. And hey, it is what it is. Again, it would have been nice if they planned it out, but clearly they were just rerunning these movies as they went because people were people were bitching and complaining, and so it's like every movie they tried something different because of the audience. And so and this is what so and obviously this is going to probably be the end of this type of movie again, or so. That's a shame, but yep, that's all I've got so far. Great movie. I don't rate anything, but I liked it a lot. It was one of the better horror movies that have come out in a very fucking long time. I mean, I guess I like it a lot because like I liked all the other shit that wasn't even horror about this movie. It was just like it pulled me in. It was just like, I don't know, like even the dumb, I don't want to call it dumb, but like the romantic part, the character, it all pulled me in. Even so, I just liked it as a movie too.
Yeah, unexpectedly, unexpected, interesting characters.
Yeah. Yeah, I really liked Allison in this, and it was weird because I didn't really care about her, like I said, the last movies, and I was like, wow, it's a shame because this was a really good character. They should have. It's a shame we only got one movie. And she was really good in it. Like she was really good. She was like a really good half psycho girlfriend. I don't know. Like I don't know. Like they had good. I mean, would you agree with that? Like I know we're in the end. I thought they had great chemistry together. They both really sold that broken, dysfunctional couple, fucked up thing. Like.
Yeah, it was like almost was like the natural born killers couple, like it could have been if they had
Yeah.
Allison, if they had Allison killing too.
Would have been awesome if they had a fourth movie with them killing, and that would have been the new. Would have been awesome. It would have been so cool to see. Would have been cool. We can't get cool shit like that, can we? Because we just got to have Michael Myers be this old guy that's supernaturally running around killing people. Can't have anything else. Can't have anything
Well,
different.
too bad this movie can't do amazing business because this could be Halloween Ends like the last Halloween, but they could do a fourth film with Corey and Allison and call it Thanksgiving Begins.
Oh man, like it sucks because I like, again, the way Corey died was badass and it was awesome, and it was a really good way to like twist it at the end. So it's like I'm torn because it's like I wanted to see them just go off as a couple and just like you said, do the psycho couple killer. That would have been such a good romantic horror movie. Like that would have just been, come on, like we don't, that's something we have not seen much of at all, and it was really would have been well done here. The chemistry was there. The story, it was just, the setup was perfect for that type of movie from this, and we'll probably, So it's like, yeah, I'm satisfied with the ending, how he died, but it was also like, well, fuck, we were not going to get another movie with him. Or if we do get another movie with him, it's going to be like he's supernatural, like Michael now, and it's just, we're not going to get that, we're not going to get that couple romantic thing. I don't know, who knows, but that's a shame. This is how it always. I like Batman versus Superman a lot, and that got a lot of hate. We never really saw another movie like that again. We won't. It's a shame because all the movies I really like, the masses hate, and then we just never get another one. And this, we never get a follow up. We never got a follow up to a legit follow up to Batman versus Superman. Yeah, we got the Justice League, but and then we never got the. We're never. Yeah. So yeah, I don't want to keep rambling, but yeah, it's probably long enough. So it was a good
All
talk.
right, very cool. Why don't we'll stop the recording and I'll just
Okay.
have some voids with you afterwards in
Okay.
private. But thank you very much for showing up for this
Sure.
Halloween Ends discussion, and yeah, definitely a surprise and for both of us, and we're at least a couple of us who enjoy the surprise.
Sure. Yeah,
So
there are a couple people I watched reviews that liked it. Definitely the minority, but this was. I'll end on this. It's YouTubers did say this, and I agree. This is a love it or hate it movie. This is not really going to be a middle ground movie for most people. I think it's going to be, you're going to love it or you're going to fucking hate it. That seems to be the reception. So.
well, I think we can both agree on that. Halloween Ends, love it or hate it. Where are
Yep.
you? Feel free to let us know in the comments. Guess that pretty much does it. Thanks again, Matt, for the
Sure.
discussion. And I guess this does it for the discussion. Thanks everyone for listening, assuming anyone made it this far in. Thank you very much for doing so. Catch you guys on the next one, everyone.